Well, the bits for powder coating are loaded up and we're off to see Jason in Latchington at H&S Powder Coating. So let's go and get it there and get it done. So instead of 10 minutes on the Metro, just to have a look and see what's what. I removed the ECU holder there because we're no longer going to use that. Took out the washer bottle because we'll relocate one in the boot and then use the original hose forward. So what we can do, what I'm looking at now, is pulling all this wiring out because we've got the light loom, obviously the loom for the washer bottle, that headlights, and then we've got the headlight dip relay there. So I think what I'm going to do is have the wing off. I'm going to move this loom out of the way. I'm going to separate it, bring that wire through that hole there in a bung to the wiper, so then that will just go there, and then I'll relocate this out under the wing and come back around here for the headlights. So there's no wiring in that bay there. Obviously I'll need to leave this rear pipe, but then that will just link straight to that, so there'll be nothing in there. So that's all that out the way. As I say, that can go straight up to the bonnet. So that want to come out of there, and then that's all that out the way. And then we can look over this side. I mean, the earth, as long as it's earthed somewhere else, hasn't got to be there. And obviously I need to pull these out of the loom to go back towards the rear of the car anyway. Over this side, we can do something similar, I'd imagine. We've got relays, ECU, well, the engine loom harness, some relays there, obviously the lighting loom, horn, etc. So we can do something with that. So from first little look, I think that's what we're going to make a start on. So I'm going to whip that wing off and then pull that loom through. Right, we'll start pulling all the tape off so we can see what we've got. Obviously this is the washer, so this can come all the way back up here somewhere, so we can run it around the back of the car. Those bits have obviously got to be separated and go through that other bung back to the wiper motor, and then the lights, etc., are all going to go out of, getting old, sorry for the noises, will come out of the repeater bung and go along the wing in here and back under. So yeah, a bit more tape to remove and a bit of rerouting, and we can get it moved. Right then, so they're the two for the washer pumps, so they're out of the loom. All these obviously go down to the front of the car. Now the earth, we don't have to run all the way down there. That can be shortened and earthed up behind the dashboard. So, and then all we'll have to do is cut the earth for the light and the earth for the rest of the lights. Sorry, that's the indicator. Yeah, so the earth for the indicator and the earth for the rest of the lights, and we can earth that down the front near the light. So if we cut these two, so it's that one there. So nip that off like that, and then nip that one off. This is, need to get some new cutters like that. Then these two can now, oh sorry, these three can now go through the repeater hole, be taped up and go through the repeater hole. And then this can be earthed, well, shortened and earthed up behind the dashboard, and then we can earth those two locally. So I'll get these wrapped up and get it fed through the hole. Right, so we've got the wires out of the side repeater bung. So we've got these holes here and here, so we're going to rivet up them and put some P-clips and run that wiring down the wing. Right, so this gives you an idea of what we were trying to achieve. Obviously I need to get some conduit around it, but it all comes out of the repeater bung. I had to cut the plugs off for the repeater, but I'll put them back on. So obviously we'll wrap it all up and secure it on there properly. As you can see, it now goes down and fits to the dim dip relay, or resistor, whatever it's called, and then obviously you've got the indicator and the headlight plug, which can go through the gap out to behind the lights. So that's that side done. Now we need to move over to the other side. Right, so we found some conduit for that. Obviously not fitted it yet, but I will. And then we've started taking the loom out of this side, as you can see. So now I'm just working out what I can move and what I can't, and then we'll place it in conduit and put it back through. So let's get on with that. Right, so again, the wires are out of the repeater hole. So we'll do the same, we'll tack them across the top with the riv nuts and P-clips and obviously wrap all that up. So then what we're left with is we've got all the big power supply going to the fuses. We should be able to keep that inside now. The ECU, or engine wiring harness plugs. I'm going to get the engine back in, I think. See if I can feed the ECU and all the power wires, etc. back through this big bung, through the bulkhead, and have it all behind the glove box. I think we're going to have enough room. And then again, the earth, same as the other side, just got to shorten it down and reposition it. So I think that's pretty much as far as we can get on the loom for now until the engine goes back in. But at least that's one more job that is kind of done. And that will have to go out the bulkhead, probably back through the same big plug, through the bulkhead, out where the ECU wires hopefully are going to come in, off to the heater motor. So, right, let's find another job to do. Well, doing a bit more on the Metro today. I've cleaned all the front end up and etch primed it. Still slightly drying. Also started cleaning up the inner wings. See, I've got a bit of overspray there, so I've got to get some thinners on that and get it off. But so far I've washed that inner wing down, dried it off. Again, use a bit of thinners and then a bit of T-cut and try and polish all that up. And you can see compared to this side, it's a bit manky, so should have really masked it off before I sprayed it, but I thought I'd have a bit of a better aim than that. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to crack on today and get this all cleaned up. The subframe is done. I'll insert a picture here from the powder coaters. Looks a bit red in the picture, but I'm hoping it's the proper orange that I'm after, so we shall see. But anyway, that's that side washed down. I'll just crack on with this side and then get the T-cut out. So we got the front zinc primered, so that's ready for paint at some point or a bit more work. This is just protected for now. And the inner wings we've just washed down at the moment and dried off, as well as the inside the bonnet. Needs a good T-cut and polish. We run out of time today, but we'll carry on with that tomorrow. Well, if you've been keeping up to date with some of the other projects, you'll know I like orange. The Land Rover's got orange tubular wings in it, orange fuel tank, etc. The Rover Turbo's got loads of orange bits on it. My old Centre Connect had orange banded steel wheels, so it's kind of the theme. So we've been to the powder coaters and collected the bits. There are still some bits missing, not powder coating wise, but shocks. I need to get some shocks and bushes and things like that. But we'll get it open. We'll probably try and get the engine sat on it now, and then we can start building it all up to go back in. I've T-cut down the inner wings today. I'm yet to put a coat of polish on them. I've done a bit of white stone chip over the bits I zinc primed. Again, just to protect it. It can be rubbed down if it needs to, but I'm guessing once the bumper and all that's on, you won't see it anyway, so probably white stone chip would just do good. So I'll get this stripped down. Well, the engine is on the subframe. It's all together. Yes, I've used old bushes for now. Obviously I can then bolt it in and then just change one at a time when new ones turn up. I mean, to be fair, they're really good ones compared to what you normally get off them, so they might even stay yet. But anyway, so yeah, so I've got Get back in there. Now that stone chip's dry, get back in there, give the old inner wings a polish up. And then I suppose it's time to, oh no, I need to cut the turret holes a bit bigger. You have to cut these out when you put a TF subframe on the front because they protrude, but there's a raised lump there and you have to cut that out to get the top of the turret through. It's not quite central, so I need to elongate that hole. Not quite sure how I'm going to do it yet, because obviously now there's nothing in the middle, a hole saw won't cut it. So I will probably have to either put a bit of wood underneath, maybe drill into that if I can hold it there, or get the air saw out, draw a line round, a bigger line, and go round it with that. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, so we've T-cut all the insides of there, obviously up there as well, and up there on that side. Haven't done down there because you're not going to see much of it. I've given it a wash, that's about as good as it's going to get. It's just more up here that you're going to see a lot of. So I will get the polish on that next, and then we will bolt the engine in. Right, it's in. Everything's done up tight. All the subframe mounts to the body. The gear linkage is in. Modified PG1, that's all in. So we can now put it back down on the floor. At least get it off the ramp so I can use the ramp for other things. And just start beavering away at wiring. And then when the new bushes and suspension turns up, we can get all that fitted either on the floor or roll it back on the ramp. But at least for now I can get it off the ramp, move it out of the way, and make a start on other things. So yeah, chuffed. It went pretty easy. So we'll have to, yeah, get it going. Moving on. Right, well, we've got the new shocks, as you saw, brand new X-Part MG ones. I've taken all the bits off the old ones in the right order, but after the whole Mini fiasco, if you haven't seen that, check out another video. I've downloaded the exploded diagrams off of Rimmers, so now we can get them built up, ready to go back on, obviously. So I don't want to use spring compressors because I don't want to scratch the springs, so I'm going to try and use force and ignorance. Oh, nearly. The only thing is we are missing a top nut. I might have to cut the other one off. So I'll have to see if I can find one. But there it is, it's complete. Here's one I prepared earlier. So they're good to go back on the Metro now. So more on the Metro. First of all, the half cage has turned up. It's a proper safety devices one. So it's got the ability to put the front bars on. So we can source some of those. Got it second hand off the old Tinternet. And we've started putting the running gear back together. This side's all done. Just about to do the other side and realised got a split CV boot. So got the boot there, got to change that over. I won't show you that because you've seen that happen before on the Rover. It's nothing exciting. So then once it's back on the floor and rolling, we can make a start on getting the cooling and boosting hose situation sorted and finish off the electrics. I've got to put some grommets up here, do something with that bloody great hole that we no longer need. Yeah, so I'll crack on getting that on and then I'll rebuild this side up. Update with the Metro. Started working out the cooling. Tom's roughly welded on some radiator mounts for me. They've all got to be trimmed down and boxed in yet. Run out of time at the weekend. So the MGF rad fits in there. Like so, we've got to make some top mounts. And obviously tie them up, box them in, etc. And then try and fit an intercooler in there. We've got loads of room at the top half of the radiator, but not so much at the bottom. So we've either got to put a narrow twin pass in, or get pipes either side, or cut the bumper out, or go charge cooler. Don't know yet. So that's that. So thanks for watching. Like, subscribe and share. We've got nearly 1,200 followers now, so subscribers I mean. So not too bad for a few months. Obviously we'd like to get up a bit more. Sorry about the adverts and stuff, but as you know, that's what happens when you get over 1,000 people, you start getting adverts. Also helps with the channel. All right, it's not very much money at all, believe me. You couldn't live off it, but every little helps, as they say. So yeah, so keep subscribing, keep liking, keep sharing, and we'll see you soon in another video. Thanks.